just a couple of announcements I can entertain you with before we start is I don't know if you've been joining us on Sundays, but we have a couple of great free things going on. We start off Sunday with Soul Quest, and that is done with Scott and Ann Wayans and Nick from Banyan Retreat. And it is a beautiful hour that you spend with your eyes closed in not quite meditation, but contemplation. It's meant for prayer, for healing. And at the end, one of Scott's inspirers speaks through him with any bits of information that are important. This week, this coming Sunday, Mavis Patilla, who was trained by Gordon Higginson and was a close friend of the great Gordon Higginson, she will be providing the contemplation. So you will have your eyes closed and you will listen to her with some music in the background. And she's absolutely wonderful. Mavis is older, we'll put it to you that way. And while she's healthy and well, we feel very grateful anytime we get to experience the great Mavis Patilla. So that's at Soul Quest. And then just after Soul Quest, well, 3 hours after Soul Quest, we have our Sunday gathering. And it's just our version of the best service we think we can do for our own souls and spirit. That happens on Sunday, and there is prayer, there is music, there is a reading this week by me, and we will have our words of inspiration or an address, and that will be our friend Darren, which will be a treat. And then we do embrace the reality of life after death. So our friends Carrie and Phil, the mediums, they will be presenting the mediumship portion. So we bring through some loved ones as representation that we don't die, that this world is not all that there is. So I know it's just at the top of the hour right now. Scott and Darren are just doing some things behind the scenes. We've had to change a little bit of the technology we've just found, because it always doesn't work so well. We sure do try. So if you don't mind bearing with us. Another couple of announcements is we have a new calendar at WeDon'tDieRadio.com. And if you click on it, you can easily click on, say, next Friday and get the registration link to be part of our trance demonstration. The registration link is also there for the free Sunday Soul Quest and the free Sunday gathering. And then also on Monday, you may be interested in learning a little bit more about trance mediumship, what it is, the altered states. You don't have to be a trance medium. In fact, Scott has been sitting for almost 25 years blending with his spirit team, but you might be interested to know that we all have a spirit team. We all have inspirers that are by our side. Certainly we have our loved ones as well, but Scott will be starting a 4-Monday class at the same time we're starting now, whatever time zone you're in, and it's on trance in the altered state. And it's an opportunity for you to learn about this world that he has been sitting in, and also closing your eyes and following his voice and blending with your own spirit team. And I tell you what, I believe what's called sitting in the power is so valuable. Like, you couldn't imagine using your cell phone, your mobile phone, without plugging it in. Well, us human beings, us souls, work a whole heck of a lot better with inspiration, with wisdom, with healing, with just general peace of mind when we can plug ourselves in. So Scott will be training everyone, and we actually get to close our eyes and be with him on this sitting in the power. So with that, I know we're running a couple of minutes late. I see Darren is in the house, and I see our friend Scott. I need to change his name because it says Darren right now. And we will be starting. So my name is Sandra Champlain. If we haven't already met, I am the host of We Don't Die Radio and the author of the book, We Don't Die, A Skeptic's Discovery of Life After Death. And pleased to introduce you to both Scott and Darren, who are from the Austin Wish Circle. Scott has been a physical medium and a trance medium for a better part of 24 years. And he's the world's foremost physical medium and tutor of the trance and the altered states. And they're both my friends, and so are the inspirers that you'll hear, one, maybe more, who knows, speaking through Scott today. This is experimental. We never know how it goes, but we want to thank you for being here. Thank you all who have contributed your donations. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So I'm going to turn it over to Scott just to give a little information about what Trance is. This might be your very first time joining us, so you can just hear a few words from him. Then we'll talk to Darren for just a moment, letting us know some of the details about what's going to happen and how you can be an active participant. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Scott. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Sandra, and hello, everyone. And again, I just echo what Sandra just said. Sorry for being just a tiny bit late. As some of you may have just heard, that we have got 2 baby bunnies, and they are still settling in. So they're only 3 days old in this house. So we're just making sure everything was all right. So we were running just a little bit behind. So I do apologize for that. So tonight is an experimental night. So we are not putting any pressure on anyone whatsoever. The only guarantee I will give you is that I will do my best to get out the way. I don't know who's going to do the work. I don't know who is going to present themselves to me for you. Trance is an overlying or overlapping of thoughts from the unseen world across my mind. And as it rolls across my mind, the voice may change and the philosophy may be given. It may be philosophy, it may be what we call out-of-body clairvoyance, where the communicator may give out information that you may understand, and then you respond in the manner which you're going to be told in just a moment. But the majority of my work is more on the philosophy base. And there are trends that the spirit world do follow, but we do take it step by step. And whatever's going to happen or unfold how it should be, we will do our best for you. Now, I want you to be patient with what is taking place, and Darren and Sandra will tell you how things will go forward if there is chance to ask questions in person to allow the thoughts to come back to you. There is quite a few of you on, which is making me a little bit nervous. I don't get to see anything, but I just see participants and I just see the number growing and growing and growing. I don't know if they will answer personal questions. Normally in this big arena, they don't normally, but I'm going to allow the spirit world to take that lead if that is what is required. So I'm waffling because I feel I'm ready to work. So I'm going to mute myself. We have got a new form of technology. So I'm going to mute myself to make sure you don't get any feedback. And Darren will talk to you about how things will unfold. Okay, take care, guys.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I hope you can hear me okay. Slight technical hitch there. I know a few of you've joined us on several of these Friday events, but we welcome those of you that haven't, and welcome back to those of you that have. I look forward to these events every week, because every week is different. You don't know what questions are going to come out, you don't know who's going to come through and communicate with us, and you don't know what's going to happen. So those that haven't joined us before, massive welcome to you all. And I'm just going to run through how this is going to work. Shortly, we're going to play some 3 tracks of music that Scott's going to listen to just to allow his mind to settle. You can all enjoy the music as well. And then hopefully once the music's finished, we will hear somebody from the other world will draw close to Scott and give us some form of communication, whether that be philosophy or whatever it may be. But like Scott said, we don't know who it's going to be. And that's the magic of it. You don't know who's going to come through on which day. So hopefully we'll have some words of wisdom from the other world. Sometimes they may invite questions from you guys. And on your screen, it might be at the bottom or the top, you've got a little symbol that says Q&A. So if any of you've got a question you wish to ask, if you type your question in there, but how it normally works, Sandra will promote you to what's called a panelist, that allowing you to ask your question direct to the other world. So they get to hear your voice and you can interact with them. How will you know that that's happening? Me and Sandra work behind the scenes. We'll go through the questions. And when Sandra promotes you to a panelist, as you're seeing the screen now, you're probably seeing just me talk or just my screen. But when you're promoted to a panelist, you'll be able to see me, Scott, and Sandra all on the one screen. So if you're promoted to a panelist and you can see that, get ready to ask your question. But obviously, technology being technology, it doesn't always work. So what will happen if we can't get you unmuted quick enough or can't get you through quick enough? Sandra will ask a question on your behalf. And that's literally just to keep the flow going. Because sometimes, you know, we're not the best at technology. And sometimes it might take 5 or 10 minutes to get you through. And it's 5 or 10 minutes that we wasted of the other world. You know, allowing to, you know, hearing their thoughts and their communication. So at any point we struggle with getting you through, Sandra will ask a question on your behalf. There's been other evenings where they've given up personal communication as well. If that does happen, again, some of you may have been on the mental mediumship demonstrations that Sandra's hosted. So how they work, if we get communication from the other world, which is happens to be a loved one, they may give out bits of information over father, past the cancer, etc. If you can understand that information, again, on your screens, it'll be at the top or the bottom, you'll have a symbol that looks like that. And it's a hand. So only if you can understand the information, press that button. But what usually happens, we might have 6, 7 people that can understand that information, because the first few bits are quite, a lot of people can accept. What Sandra will do then, she'll put all your hands down and the communicator may give out more bits of information. And it's only if you can understand the first bit of information and the second bits of information that you put your hand up again. And allow Sandra to work with the other world to see who the information is going to. These are 2 of the things that's happened on these events so far. So we've had the Q&A, questions and answers, and we've had the information from all the loved ones. So we may get those tonight, we may not, we may get something completely different, but that's the magical thing about these evenings being experimental. Anything can happen and anything is possible. The one other thing I just wanted to let you guys know as well, because me and Sandra behind the scenes trying to work all the technology and going through the questions for you guys, if anyone puts their hand up throughout the demonstration, we're not ignoring you and we're not being rude, but we can't respond to the hands up, if that makes sense. It's if you've got something you wish to ask or you've got an issue or something, just pop it in the Q&A because we can see those and we can respond to those. But unfortunately, we can't respond to people putting their hands up. Our system is not advanced to allow us to do that. So any questions, any comments, please just pop them in the Q&A box and we'll do our best to answer them for you. But sit back, enjoy the evening, and let's all have a good time and see what happens.
Thank you. And as everyone's listening to the music, if you want to think of questions, and again, think of ones that not just for you personally, but the topic could help other people as well. Okay? Feel free to type them in there now. And the guys will start the music. And just sit back and relax.
Once again, we find ourselves walking a familiar path. My words come to you, maybe for the first time, or greeting you again. But my words come with the seasoning of love, as the time of change is now upon you. Your world, a world in which I remember, changed for myself. And now at this moment, what seems so current has now changed for you. A new way of thinking, a new way of you walking in this world where great peace can become one, can be achieved if only humanity would bind together and hold and embrace love, instead of allowing fear, hatred, misunderstanding to be the shackles that man and woman, child, will carry. At what point did things change in your world? When did the morning become the afternoon become the evening, and night and dawn? At what point does things change for you? At what point do the seasons move? A gentle will that constantly turns with no defining end. At what point did I enter? And what point will I leave? At what point is it that your world ceases and our world begins? Are we the shadow of your world? At the moment of your birth, as you drew breath, a child was born. A child that then grows and becomes an adult and gives themselves in service. And indeed, if it is so your wish to procreate, at what point do you become the parent? As all life changes and moves into one another, as I have often said, when does a river stop becoming the river? As it meets the crest of the wave of the ocean. At what point do you truly die? If you have seen it for yourself through certain individuals that allow their minds to be moved, that we are able to retrace our steps in memory, and to convince those who hear these words that life is everlasting. I believe we are only dead if we are forgotten. And on occasions like this, we are being reborn, living within your minds, existing within your hearts, walking softly with your side. At what point has things changed? As we have said, on many years before this occasion, that the time of change is coming. Prepare yourselves. Learn from our mistakes, as sadly you are then being handed the errors of our way. We weave for you a road of peace, but it is up to one if they choose to walk that path or choose another. Time of change is now. You have seen great empires seem to crumble at this moment. The common voice is now being heard to the highest peak of your world. Those who claim to rule your lands on behalf of the many are now bowing, as they have realized that they themselves cannot command. But they are the slave, they are the voice of the masses, of the many, that choose to be heard in peace and in love. How some thoughts were given and become actuality. Through your hands, you mold your imagination. through the skills of you who are listening, you create the future as you live in the presence of now. Do not wait for days to come. Do not allow your mind to be distracted. The time is now. Before the crest of the wave breaks, you must move in this tide of peace. But as peace comes, unrest will come with it. But it's how one reacts to it. Are you prepared to give all you can for this peace to hold? Or are you going to stand to one side and say, I will allow another? When you yourself have the strength at this moment to become the maker of peace. So what has changed from the last time I spoke with you? Or if this is the first time, what has changed within you that has piqued your curiosity to come and share your time with me? If this is your first or last time, let it be an enjoyable time. If to quench your thirst of curiosity, may these words quench that moment. As many of you are being released, like a bird that has been imprisoned for so long, dreams of a day. But if you are to remind yourself, when you were first placed within that cage, how much you listened to the world outside your establishment, the birds that sang the sweet melody, the grass that grew stronger, the flowers which were normally cut before they grew, revealed a new beauty, given a chance to change their ways, to soften your heart. But now, as your world quickens again, you put this moment behind you. You start to become distracted once again. And the miracle of life may be overlooked. Now, I'm not here to punish you. I'm not here to command you. I'm here as a support and a friend that will see this thing, this moment to its end, but also stand beyond it. Beyond your life, I will stand as a reminder that the doors of our world are constantly open for you. It is only that your mind seems to imprison you. There are others who will sleepwalk through their existence, not knowing the great world that awaits you, being cruel, only echoing experiences that they were taught. But peace will come to them. It may take the hand of death to release them from their shadow, so that they move into our world, migrate, if you will, and finally find peace. But we constantly bang the drum. We constantly wave the banners that may be hidden. But we still wave. We still stand and support you. We are like the shadow that you cannot run from, even though you turn off the lights. you then are consumed by the shadow, consumed by our world, to remind you the world you have left and where you will return to. You will return different, you, as I was different when I breathed your air. But now I swim in an ocean of love. But I have to say to you, I turned back and wished we might understand it, that I could alter a path that I have walked. And that is why I wish to remind all of you to allow love, to allow peace, to allow the understanding that all life is sacred. All life has meaning, like every thread that is woven in a tapestry. A thread it may be, but together it creates a canvas of beauty, like the colors of a painting, brought to life from the imagination, that all color supports and tells a story. At what moment do words stop being words that strung together in a sentence that tells a story of a life? That you who are born, even though at this moment you may feel alone, that we surround you, we smother you in a gentle way. Those who cry this night, we are there to wipe the tears away. For those who laugh, we laugh with you, as that brings great healing and joy. For when your soul is truly touched, your soul that experienced the emotion, that your laughter does not consult insult to anyone, but brings a joy that is the sweetest melody, that someone like myself will stand in the golden shores of our world and will remain there while there is still happiness. Is this a false dream? If it is, then I am the fool. But it makes no difference for what you truly think of me, because I will always respond with the deepest love and respect. As each question that finds me, each word that then drips from his mouth that is dipped in the oil of love, will always have value. So if you are to ask of me, I will never deny you. But sometimes the words may be a burden, may start to heal the wounds or reopen them. And that is why we have given our thoughts not only to the one we love, but to others who surround him. And say, wherever possible, we'll continue to knock and bang upon the door to remind you all that this life is the shortest part of your journey. It is a step in your road to the infinite light that waits, and you will become a part of it. How long will it take you? Well, at this moment you are imprisoned in time. So you think eternity is long. You think that eternity could wait one moment. But when you have given yourself back to time, the body that you loved, the body that you hold so tightly to, eternity isn't long at all. It is a progression of how you yourselves accept, adapt, absorb, and share. An experience of a vast vibration that awaits you. This is indeed the great steps, as death is but the cornerstone of change. When do you truly die? Is it when someone you love has succumbed to illness, or someone you love has succumbed to an experience that may not have the outcome that brings you smiles, but only brings you sadness and unrest? You feel your hearts deepen. Your minds become clouded with the emotion. But yet, beyond your vision, beyond your ears, we shout and we stand and whisper in your dreams. As my words come to distract you, my world assembles around each of you. So even though that you may be great in number, at this moment you are assembled, peering into a mirror that does not show your reflection. Many of my world now fill your room, and pray that your hearts are open to hear, to feel, and to know our presence is with you. I am blessed to be the voice of many, but I am the humble servant that has only come to serve you in the pleasing manner as we retrace our steps to the mountain of peace. Sandra, my friend, I trust that you are well.
I am very well, and I've heard from many of the people who have joined us. And Eric, thank you for the comfort and the words and the wisdom and the hope that you bring everyone. Thank you for being here.
That is very kind of you, my dear, and I give my love to you all. It always amuses me when someone says wisdom. Wisdom is only wisdom if it is understood. Words that have come together can be an enigma. It could be nonsense one day and wisdom the next. Darren, my friend, I trust that you are well.
I'm all as well, thank you, Eric.
Oh, very pleasing. If it is so your wish,
Yes.
let me speak with some, and then I will withdraw and allow another one to speak in my stead.
Wonderful. We have Sean who has the first question. Hello, Sean. Oh, we have a bad connection, so I will ask the question.
I trust that they are well.
Yes, thank you. Sean's question is, what is the purpose of this challenging physical existence in respect of our eternal journey?
Well, my friend, I have to say to you that when the soul becomes quickened and experiences the human emotion, It then allows growth to come to it, because the soul must become the spirit. But in order for it to become the spirit, it must become physical first. I often say that the soul has come here to find a shadow, as it is a constant light, but only when it comes into the physical form, it then casts and finds its shadow. But the purpose of life is for every drop of rain to connect and absorb into one ocean, and that is consciousness. It is the step that is followed by a greater step. But also that you have come here to share life with a sentient being, and that is what is below your feet. This world in which you live needs assistance, but is giving you the opportunity to learn in whatever capacity it may be. But remember, if you are to bruise it, it will respond. So I say to you, it is to aid the progression of the soul that becomes the spirit. I myself do not hold the title of a soul no more. It is a garment. I am a friend, and you could call me a spirit. But I am not a spectre. I am not a ghost or apparition. I am a friend that has been a friend to the earth, and now continue to be a friend to humanity. But my journey must continue. And when my voice falls silent, and the one we love succumbs to death, then I will move beyond the second death, and my time upon the earth and the links that I have will then be severed and laid into my consciousness. I will never speak back to the world, but then the one I love will become the voice of where I am at this moment, so that he himself can experience. But then he will also migrate further into the greater world that awaits all of you. It is a step that moves to the greater step of life. But so many people may say, instead of taking the step, can we not take the bridge? And of course, you may see that happen. That if a child that does not draw breath will then progress within our world, but the colors and the vibration in which they animate will be different to those who draw breath. You may call this a pure spirit, but all spirit is pure. It has just touched the earth to touch consciousness of mother or father, and then to return, missed by many, loved by the masses, and then they will become part of your family when it is your journey's end. But I have to say to you, some people may see this moment as a wasted opportunity. But you are here to be loved by others, to leave your mark upon this earth. And I pray it will be a positive mark, so that people will talk softly about you, warmly, and peace and love will be shared by all. I hope that is pleasing for him, and if it is pleasing, let us continue.
Thank you very much. Our next question is from Debbie. Hello, Debbie.
Hi, thank you so much.
Hello, my friend. I trust that you are well.
Thankfully, yes. 2 years ago, my dad became ill and he decided that he wanted to take his own path, and he shot himself, and we miss him very much. It's 2 years. And I did hear his voice a couple of times, and I know it was him, but he always said to us, he thought, and he would be very surprised if there was something beyond. And I said to him a week before he did this, that I hope he was going to be surprised. And I just want to know if he's been surprised.
Well, my friend, I have to say to you, I do not have your dear papa here. But what I can say with great confidence, no matter how you come to our side of life, you'll be met in the same manner. And a lot of times that I hear when I stand at the portals of our world, I hear, oh my God, because they are so surprised, you know. The fog of confusion is removed, and they can see our world clearly and see all who love them, who have gone before, making their journey towards them. The act of what has taken them to our side of life is removed from their consciousness. But of course, that if there is a need, we will do whatever is necessary to try to bridge the gap between the two worlds. So for a brief moment that you are able to be in the company of your dear papa. If I could say this to you, so many people who come to our side of life of maturity, and I mean no insult to anyone when I say this, but we take them to a place that seems familiar to them. And many people wish to observe cricket, you know, a laborious sport by some, a great thrilling experience by another, and they observe cricket in our world. So many people who wish to meet certain celebrities in your existence, but when they come to our side of life, they have the opportunity to share their talent. And those you were able to meet and have conversation with. It truly is paradise, you know. But paradise can be found within your world. But to understand, even though the past may leave questions, but if someone is convinced, if their body is coming to the end of its journey, be it through illness, in whatever capacity it may take hold, they don't wish to be a burden. So they do things in what they consider to be love and kindness, but can leave a devastating mark on the people that they leave behind. And that, my friend, is where we come to assist you, to give healing and comfort, and try wherever possible to remind you of happiness, not clouded, that a wealth of life has now been shadowed by that act, what may only take a moment. But I say this to you, when I am released from the one we love, I will then search for you. I will go to the places where I know so many of you who have had those who have transitioned. and I will try and find your papa and say, in the dream state, let's see what we can do together. Now, I want you to be absolutely clear when I say this. As many of you know, that my talent is to give philosophy. I only partake in this form of communication mentally on a very rare occasion, so I am not trained. Others who surround the one we love are more seasoned in communication than those who are familiar to you. I tried once, to be a medium between the two worlds, and I have to say to you, I was only measly satisfied that I had done my duty, when there are others who are much stronger in their ways, and that is why I will take it as my task to find your papa. The moment I release him, your father will be there, you know. And we will have a conversation, and I will see if I am able to influence. As you rest, not only this night, but for several nights to come, that you dream softly of the one you love. That is my commitment to you. That is my promise. And those who know me will know that my promise will always be absolute.
Thank you very much. This is my first time and you've brought me great peace.
Oh, my friend, if it is your first time, then may I extend even further for you. Because so many people may have a different interpretation to when someone has come to the end of their journey through suicide. I don't like that word, you know. I don't like it because it sums up things. People are greater than that name. People who have taken the decision to move to our world by the act of their own hand. Man of cloth, the very person that you should go to spiritual guidance. They are misunderstood in their teachings when they say that it is a sin. No one has the right to cast that thought to anyone. If someone has chosen to take that path, they will not be punished for it. And I must make that absolutely clear to all of you. But so many, when they come to our side of life, they realize then how much they were loved.
Good. He did it for us.
And my friend, I will then reassure you. I will reassure you that no father wants to see someone who they have given life and taught them to see you upset.
I admire him.
Done with love, my friend.
Thank you.
You are indeed eternally welcome, my friend. I just wish that I was strong enough for you, but I can give you confidence in different ways. I can say with great confidence, as it would be a sin for me to lie to you, because that itself will be breaking the natural law that I respect. But no matter how you come to our side of life, you will always be welcomed. But also, that thought will be removed from you. You will dance again with your father. I promise you that, my friend.
I believe you, and thank you again. This is so wonderful. I appreciate you.
That is too kind of you, my friend. With your permission, may I move along?
Yes, thank you very much. We have Robert here. Hello, Robert.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. I trust that you are well.
Pretty good, yes.
What is your question, Robert?
How is my little man? He's a feral kitten, and I would like to know if he's passing soon.
Oh, my friend, I have to say to you, I am no prophet, you know. No prophet whatsoever. But I have to say to you that with any person, no matter if they're old or young, no animal, no matter old or young, no plant, no matter how old or young, if their time on earth is spent, then indeed they will pass. But I say this to you, if you are concerned in whatever capacity, there are people in your world that can aid the healing recovery, or indeed aid the transitional time. Now, my friend, now if I said to you, and if I can extend, even though that the inquiry has been referred to the one you love, but those who love animals, and with great love and great respect, if their journey is becoming difficult, and one may choose then to assist their passing to our world, as long as it is done with love and respect, then indeed it will not dirty your consciousness. It will not lay stones of bear upon your mind. But if one then chooses and says that I am going to end your life because you bring no enjoyment to me, that is what we call a disservice to the great Creator. We will never shy away from you, neither do we back away. But I say this to you, the purpose of your life is for you to find spirituality whilst you are a soul, allowing the spirit within you to then blossom. And therefore, as it blossoms, the connection between our world and yours becomes stronger. And when your journey here is ending, you migrate with great ease into our world. But if you are concerned, my friend, do not hesitate. Do not wait for the ramblings of an old dead man to convince you. But if healing is required, then I will ask those within my world to assemble, if you will, to give healing to a truly troubled being. If the journey's end is coming, the healing will give peace for the body to release and for the silver cord, the etheric line to be severed, but also healing to be given to those who love, so that when the severance is taken, the sore heart that may be coming will not be so painful. That is why I say to you, I am no prophet, my friend, but what I can do is give insight through the experience that I have witnessed of how our world can aid and assist. I stand at the portals, you know, to observe and give counsel where it is required. There are others in my world that assist on many different duties. My dear friend Elizabeth gives healing, but also teaches elocution lessons to those who may not be so seasoned in the manner of communication. Young Daniel does the phenomena in certain occasions where seances are being conducted. Morning Star will give his wisdom, but also brings the power for healing, but also of insight of events, and so on and so forth, at all facets of the diamond that comes together. This is why, my friends, all of you, if you choose to, that when you come to our side of life, you'll be taken to the halls of learning. And if you have a talent, let it blossom, but let it aid the world in which you loved, but now stands firmly behind you. I know that is not the answer that you seek, my friend. But if it is its journey's end, allow healing to bring the severance of the cord. But if the cord is to remain, let healing to be given for you to hold and to share your life a little longer. If that is pleasing for you, let us continue.
Thank you. And we have Angela next. Hello, Angela.
Hello, Sandra.
Hello, my
Hello.
friend. I trust that you are well.
Yes, I'm very well, thank you, Eric. I trust you are too.
Oh, I am dead, my friend. There's nothing to gripe about.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for taking my question. I wanted to ask, do children in spirit feel a lot of sadness when they see how their parents grieve for them?
Well, my friend, sadness is misunderstood in our world. We see the opportunity, first of all, to aid a condition for the child to then draw close to mother or father, to share their love. Even though the tears may fall in your world, they do not fall in ours. A child will feel the mother's pain or the father's pain, but they do not respond in the manner of like your children in your world. They understand, but they grip so tightly to the mother and father. Really, they come to tell you it's okay. They're well. You know how a child may fall in your world and the mother will come and caress the wound and say, there, it will be better in a moment. The roles may change in our reality. A child will draw close to the mother and father and will give comfort where we can. But the child will not feel the sadness. They may express it when they come close to a medium. They may share a form of emotion as the medium tries to understand what is being shared. But a child will always be a ray of sunshine on the darkest of day. And I mean this with great affection, you know, because there are so many people who are hearing these words who have the sore heart of a child that has come to our side of life. This is why I wish and I pray to God, however you see God to be, if we could give you our sight, give you our ears, lend you our hands, so that you can see, hear, and touch those who stand in front of you at this moment, gazing into your eyes and saying, I have not gone. I now live in a world where there is no pain, there is no suffering, there's no illness. The fog of mind is clear. But we want you to live as long as you can. But honor those who have gone before you. Talk to us, even though it may seem like a one-sided conversation. Remember us on certain occasions. Let us walk with you in your memories. Let us share thoughts with you while you sleep. Did you know, my friend, that every time each of you sleep, you come to the very shores of our world, and you meet up with those who have gone before you? And that is why we say we don't grieve for you. We don't grieve for you, but we want you to be happy. But it is very hard, you know, very hard for those who are experiencing what we are expressing at this moment. That is why we say to you, allow in your dreams for us to live. If we are unseen, place your hand across your heart and feel the beat of all of our lives. Then you know that as you have a beat of a heart, we live within it. We live within the reign of love that will never sever. Yes, of course, in olden days, we did not have this form of technology. So the pain, I say to you, of forgetting the voice, forgetting the smile. But thank God, however you see God to be this day, that you have technology, that you are able to listen to the voice again. You're able to see, but still does not take away that pain. But we pray, as we continue to influence as many minds as possible, but through the influence of mind, we try to influence technology. And through certain gifted individuals, that we try our best to show our faces, to allow our voice to be heard again, so that in this modern world, we can show you the glimpses of angels. Now, my friend, I have never supported that word angel, but for children, I will always season that thought. But an angel is not a wing and halo. It is measured by their smile and by their love. And a child's love is infinite. And therefore, they are the brightest lights in our world. But a light that will never go out, but will only grow stronger with the love that is shared between the two shores. I wish, and I mean this with great affection, as I jest with you, we say to all of you, pray for death, and that will give you life. I am simply dying to tell you. I apologize, that is some humor of mine, different to the young man, and maybe different in time. But I have to bring humor to this, as these words have opened up wounds, but I also hope that they are healing them as well. I have to say to you, and I've said it on numerous occasions, that many children in our world wish to be superheroes. They can't get hurt in our world. And many people who have observed or fantasized of being strong, being able to fly, being able to go here, there, and everywhere. They can do so in our world. Young Daniel observes children along with our dear friend May. Many children want to fly, so we tie little strings around their ankles. They walk along as they're flying through the sky, the eternal light of our world. But then they wish to show you what they can do. They have so much to share with you. And that is why I say to you, the tears of sadness will never fall from a child in our world. Tears of love, yes, but not of sadness. If parents fall to their knees, as many of you have, you fall because of love. You fall because your heart is broken. And these children are here, trying their best to raise you again and to heal your heart by placing their hands across you and saying, there. We will see this through together. To us, it is an afternoon until you join us. But to you, it could be many years. But you'll instantly recognize those who you love. Because love will never die. It only gets stronger and brighter for every breath you take, every smile you share, and every tear that falls. It creates a rainbow to our eternal land. If that is pleasing for you.
Thank you.
Sandra, my dear,
Yes, Eric.
with your kind permission, I will fall silent and another will speak in my stead.
Very good. Thank you.
Wait a moment.
Okay.
Hello, Ducky.
Hello, Daniel.
I'm sorry to keep you hanging on the edge of your seats, like, but old Nibbies is going to stay very close, so I've got to be on my best behaviour.
Okay.
But I wanted to bring you smiles because he's been talking a bit serious, you know, and we don't want you to see only one side of the coin. It's important that you realise with your lives that you live, you bring your personality with you. Now, don't get me wrong, but I myself can speak the King's English better than most. But those who are born with plums in their mouths, they haven't lived the life that we have lived, like you and I. They may have been born into privilege. They may have lived in the grace of God
as they go to their churches and temples, and we sit on the steps outside. But we have experience of life. We know what it's like to have nothing in your pocket, rumblings within your tummy, sores upon your feet, and dirt upon your nose. But we take these thoughts with us, you know. We take the experience of life. We've seen life with our own eyes. They may have read life and only imagine what it's like. You try and eat a horse's hoof and tell me that you still go to bed hungry. Or eating pig's feet, gnawing with their little ears. But that's what you do when you're hungry, like. But in my world, you're never hungry, you are. You never get wet when the rain falls. You never get burnt when the sun shines. You're just happy, you are. That the fields and meadows in which we stand and play are full with joys and laughter. But of course you know me, dear, you know me, that I do like a chuckle. And that's what I say to all of you. Don't listen to how I sound. Listen to what I have to say. Don't judge a person because I may sound a little bit younger, a bit softer or a bit strange to some. Don't judge the life that you haven't walked, because we don't judge you. We don't judge you as God made little green apples. But we're here to wipe away the sadness if we can, to make you laugh so your stomach hurts and your face is sore. Laughter is just a line upon your face to show that you have lived. So if you look into the mirror and you're all wrinkly, it shows you've been happy. Don't feel sorry that you're taking a step towards the grave. Be happy that you've taken steps of life. Now I'm being serious there, and that's not my way. I did not come here to sound like a stuffed shirt. I've come here just to bring you happiness. I have. I hope I'm not a disappointment, because, you know, I can't change it, you know. But of course, where I can, I may not be the tallest one, I may not be the sharpest tool, I may not be the brightest spark, but I lived. So that's why I'll give it to you both barrels, I will. But I'll aim for your heart, so I'll leave my mark upon it. So when the words fall silent, you don't miss me, but you become intrigued. That's a big word, that is, intrigued. In trying to find what is next in life, be it in your world or in ours, no matter. Because your journey doesn't end when you kick the bucket. No, it don't end when you push up that daisy. When they cart you off in your horse and cart in the box. No. It's just a beginning, it is. The life you've lived now becomes a memory. Some people may be happy to see the back of you. Others may want to keep you there. But we've come only to serve you, as he said. We've come to hopefully enrich your lives in whatever way we can. So you're right there, Ducky.
I'm great. Could we ask a question? Could someone ask a question?
If you like, Duck. Don't know if they're going to like the answer.
Well, we'll see. I'm trying to unmute Karen. Karen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Meet Daniel.
Hi, Ducky.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ducky. I hope I'm not a disappointment. You know, I know that some of you wanted to ask Nibs instead, but sometimes it's the card you've been handed to.
Well, my question is, my mother has been 5 years deep into dementia, and we've had to put her in a home. And then now, because of the virus, it's locked down, and we haven't seen her since March. But my dad, they've been married for 66 years, and my dad is having such a rough time not being with her. And he cries and pleads and asks me, why can't God just take her? Why won't she just die? Why does she live in this confused state where she doesn't know any of us and she just talks nonsense? Is there some answer I can give him, or is there some way we can help her to release her body, or what's the purpose of staying here?
Can I help you? Can I help you just for a moment? And I'll do my best. I'll do my best, as I always say. When someone has this form of a problem within their minds, many people say they lost their marbles. They ain't lost their marbles at all. It's just a different way of phrasing it. So your mother may be talking gibberish to you, but in their mind, they're living a scene. But sometimes they live a scene but may seem confusing to you because you say, Mum, that's not right. They're only reminded of their problems when you say, sorry, Mum, that's not right. That person's been gone. Because in her head, she's going back through history, you know. A lot of history is starting to play out. So in their lives, they can be as happy as Larry. But because you're seeing the person you love ebb away from you, becoming a shadow, if you will, of the person you used to love. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do and help you in answering to your father's thing. Of course, in her head, as I said to you, she could be having a scene where she's with her father or with her mother or whoever else who took care of her life. But she only becomes confused, as I said, that you remind her of it. Now, if transition is going to come, as Mr. Eric says, you can pray to the soul. Pray to the soul and say, it's all right. We're going to be okay. It's your time is to be released. And that will help the soul to aid the transition. How many of you, cover your ears if you've got those things in it, how many of you have been with someone and you've been there for days, and the moment you leave the room for whatever reason, they slip into our world then? It's because the soul says that, you know, I don't want to leave them crying, let them go in peace. So that the soul then just goes, I'll go when that person leaves the room. So reassuring the soul may help the transition. Now also you've got to take into consideration that any form of illness with the mind, that they can spend more time in our world. So sometimes if someone is having a very confused day and talking gibberish, janglish, whatever you may call it, they're spending a lot of time in our world, and our world is full of love. So they're smothered with love. It's just distressing for people like yourself and your father who has to watch someone who was so strong becoming someone like a child again. So first of all, we've got to give healing to you and to your father so that he himself can find a sense of peace. Now, there is this form of way we're talking to you and like using these things that enables you to hear my words, see his face, but you haven't touched him and you're not touching me, so that your father can see. But sometimes that's very hard, you know, very hard, because the time that you've been separated, there's always been deterioration of the physical body, and that can cause more distress, like. You could always play pieces of songs and music that brings him happiness and say to him, look, Dad, just see her happy, just see her well. And that will help him himself to adjust this new life that's going to happen. Now, we can't knock anyone on the head or kick them in the back so the cord's severed. We can't. But what we can do is reassure the soul. So I'll have a little dig around if your permission, and I'll try and help where I can. So if you ever get to speak to your mother and she starts saying there's a boy here with sticky out ears, buck teeth, and only a face the mother could love, you know it's me.
I would be very grateful. Thank you.
And I'll see what I can do for you, love. But anything with Alzheimer's, dementia, and all other things that affect the body. You know, the body itself is like perfect. It's the mind inside which is becoming confused, because the brain what's going to die. That's what's going to die, not the memory, but the brain itself isn't working well. So the memory is moving more to our world. That's why sometimes you say, I see Mum here today, she's having a good day. And the days that you think she's having a bad day, she's more in our world. She's more finding peace, but it's the body itself just echoing what it's trying to interpretate. Because the body knows its time's almost up, it is. I've always said the body's a bone bag. It's a tatty thing. It's a tatty thing. Some are more tatty than others. That's why I say I think you should hurry up and die. Much more easier it is. Then you don't have that problem. But I don't want you taking it the wrong way. I don't want you to take it the wrong way and do any harm, like. But we want you to be in your world, collecting more memories, so when you come over to us, you can share those memories with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Has she been seeing a dog then?
Is she what?
Been seeing a dog?
A dog?
Yeah. You know those ones what woof woof and they stick their noses places they shouldn't be sticking.
Yes, I've had lots of dogs. We can't talk to her. We haven't seen her in 4 months because
I think she's been seeing a dog, she has.
She probably has. There's lots of dogs from the family.
I think there's a yapper that's there that she's been seeing. Have they still got her perfume then, love?
Yes.
Have you asked the people looking after her if they can sprinkle a little bit on an old rag for her?
We could ask. And what would the purpose be?
Because it's just the reassurance there. Because it's the body that's starting to give up, and we want the body to be in peace.
Right.
And if she likes a bit of perfume, like, douse it on a bit of rag, not on her skin, because it could be a bit too sensitive for her. A little bit of rag, and it can be just hang near her pillow, like. Give her a bit of comfort.
Okay.
That's what I say.
All right.
Do you know what? In my time, when we used to collect the horses to mark behind the wagon, you never bit your nails afterwards because you would always smell it. But now, I miss that smell, I do. Especially if it was fresh, like, and it was on a cold day, you pick it up and keep your hands warm. But you never bite your nails after that, love.
I bet not.
At least I left you with a belly laugh, that's what I say.
Yes, you did.
Thank you. Daniel, our friend Linda has an important question. Can she ask?
Oh, go on then. You pulled me leg.
Thank you.
Legs.
My 24-year-old son passed a couple of months ago. We were very close, and I'm like totally feel destroyed and shattered. So do you have any advice on how to feel less miserable or any advice on better communicating with our children? Thank you.
Well, first of all, you know, of course you're going to be devastated, love. You're going to be broken. But there's people out there who are in the same story as well. You can talk to them. You can share thoughts with them, because no one tells you how you're supposed to cope. You know, you're allowed to be angry, you're allowed to be sad, you're allowed to pull your hair, you're allowed to do silly things, because it's showing how much you love them. Now, when someone who you love comes to our side of life, it creates a vibration around you. This vibration can be sometimes a little bit hard for us to get close to you. Now, I'm not saying you've got to be happy. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying that we are doing our best in your dreams and whilst you are awake to help you through each day. You can listen to songs that your son would love. And through that song, you create memories of their life. You can sniff their clothing and you can remember. And it's about bringing happiness back into your mind. If happiness moves back into your mind, that they are still walking with you no matter how you are seeing each day. Wait one moment, will you? Can you talk to me, Sandra, just for a moment while I just go quiet, will you?
Oh, absolutely, I can talk. No problem at all. Linda, thank you for your question. I know that it makes a difference to many people.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to ask.
Absolutely, and you just stay with us right here, right now. Appreciate everyone being here, very much so. And although we don't get to all the questions, I think you can tell, you can ask them on different topics, and it's been very valuable, I feel. It's been a lovely thing that we've been offering this every Friday, and we welcome you always to join us again. And I will just keep smiling at you as he sits there for us. But a definite thank you for all that are watching and all that are watching the replay.
I'm sorry to keep you talking, love.
I don't mind.
Keep going, love, for a moment.
Okay, I'll keep going. On Sunday, if anyone wants to join us for Soul Quest, it's a beautiful thing. We have a beautiful lady named Mavis Patilla, who is a medium who's pretty well known that she'll be our guest. And our friend here sitting in the chair, he will be there with one of his inspirers, bringing a message as well. That's always wonderful. It's great to have a community that we are creating here, despite being many, many miles away, despite what's happening on planet Earth. The fact that we can meet like this and be reminded of our own souls and the bigger picture, to me, is absolutely precious.
Well, it's very kind of you to speak like that, you know, because it's the partnership between the two worlds, Dad. Sorry I went silent just for a moment, love. I just wanted to have a poke around, you know, just to see something, see if I can help you in whatever I can. And I kept on thinking, you have this thing called corn, don't you?
Corn? Yes.
It's corn, isn't it? And does corn change when you put heat on it?
Yes, it does. Turns into popcorn.
Does it? Because as I was trying something there, I kept on thinking I want to have some popcorn like. And funny thing, isn't it? Funny thing, it gets stuck in your teeth and stuck in your gums, like all of that. But of course, it's trying to invoke memory. People who are suffering like yourself, it's important that you sit quietly and just talk to us in whatever way you can. And as the river of your thoughts caress our unconsciousness, we try our best to splash back and remind you of the happiness that you may share. Mr. Eric is right, you know, that we need more people who are able to do mental capacity talking like, so that we can remind you of love. Love will never die. It may change like a seed that falls. It may be small at first, but with time it can create a thing of beauty. Reminding you that all that you have loved live on within our world. Your son, along with others, even though that are missed, stand with you at this moment. I don't know if popcorn has anything to do with it, Duck, but
I've been eating more popcorn lately, so maybe he's just seeing that.
Well, I asked for something and they said corn, and they said if you eat it, it's popcorn. I don't know what that is like. You know, I'm only used to things like pig's feet and all of that. You know, those treats that you can have when you've got something on a plate. But there was a dusting of that, and there's a dusting of magazines and comics and things like that. Does that make sense to you, love?
I've saved, like, when he passed.
Yes or no will help me more, love.
Oh, yes.
And is there things where corners are folded over?
I don't know what that means. So.
When someone looks at a page and they want to say that they press the corner over, it doesn't seem like they've got a bookmark. Would you know, love, if there's magazines and comics that have kind of corners folded, like?
I don't know that. No, I don't know.
Would you be able to check for us? They're quite colourful, and there's things in there which are pressed down like. Have a check for us, love, and see if I'm digging up something which is jerking a memory like. There's something, is there something to do with a shark?
A shark?
Was there a film like which involved a shark?
I can't think of anything like that. He was an organic gardener.
No, don't tell me too much, love. There's something here that I asked about the popcorn, and the other two bits that I got was something to do with magazines and rags, which have the corners folded, and there's something to do with a shark. Something to do with the shark. If I'm wrong, love, I do apologise, like.
I
But
can't.
I'm trying to bring a bit of happiness, that's what I say.
Okay. I mean, I've had some old of his comics, but I mean, I don't see anything. Well,
wouldn't that be interesting to know if he likes something to do with that, love? But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and
Sure.
I'll be man enough to own up for it. Even though I may be a 5'4", like, I'll still stand on my tippy toes and make myself a little bit bigger. Even the smallest person can cast a big shadow.
Okay, here's a comic book I just found that it does have some of the pages folded, and there's some kind of ad here, and it's called Sky Shark.
Ooh. I don't know if that's the right thing, love, but a person who's proud, don't mind that.
I don't know, but that's kind of weird that it says shark.
Well, sometimes the weirdest things come in the strangest places, like. But I'll skirt some more, love, and I'll see if I can bring you a bit of happiness as time goes on. But what I'll do is that I'll draw close to him in the chair when Mr. Darren's there, and him in the chair will just start talking. Mr. Darren will make notes of things of memories, and then we'll hand it to Miss Sandra, and she will then share it with you, so we can tie up all the loose ends in bows like.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Doc. But because you asked, and you said you've got a sore heart, and it's our job, wherever possible, if conditions arise, that we try and share a bit of light on your darkest night. We give you a bit of warmth on your coldest day, for you to be reminded that all life that has lived in your world now exists within ours. You'll never lose us, so I don't want you to go around saying I lost someone. But we are here to help and to serve you in the manner. As our minds join together, as my mind and Mr. Eric's becomes one, our journey here is done with a love that is shared by all, even though there has only been a sprinkling of thoughts that have been given to us to take care of. We now offer to you a handful of seeds for you to plant within your consciousness, and from these tiny seeds, mighty things will grow. If your journey with us has ended, and I will never speak with you again through the one we love, then I will see you in our world as those who you love gather around you. Those who love surrender and then run towards you. We will stand there and smile. We will ask nothing in return. We will not evade or ask or command. So as we all come to the crossroads of understanding, once again we will stand, and we will weather the storms that may rage. We may stand alone, waiting for the time that we meet again. Live your lives as best as you can. Live your life to the fullness, to create many memories and allow those who you love to walk with you. And if you are blessed to still have a strong family, tell all your family members how much they are loved. If you cannot do that, as you are separated through countries or shielded by government who says that you cannot leave your place, send them in your thoughts. They will be heard, they will be felt. As the perfume of your love will help heal the many. That's the best you're going to get from me.
Thank you very much.
It is. I've reached for the toppest shelf, and that's all you're going to get from me. But I'll tell you this. Keep love within your heart. Don't allow darkness in. Keep your heart pure, and then the rest of you will be pure. Keep your mind clean, not filthy like his, but keep it as clean as you can, and allow your soul to come to the surface of your being. Toodles and poodles, like.
Thank you, Daniel. thumbs up from you, Scott. I can make some announcements and then maybe we can get some closing words from you, fine gentlemen. For ladies and gentlemen, this might be the first time you've seen something like this or not, but Scott is also a tutor of trance in the altered states. And on Monday, we're starting a course for beginners or for anyone who's been involved before. We all have a team supporting us. I know most of us have loved ones in the unseen world, and it's a beautiful thing to join Scott and myself in this. It'll be a 4-Monday course starting at the same time we started just now, and about 2 hours each session. And you can really learn to sit in the altered states, sit in the power, and it provides so very much. And it's, for me, it really strengthens the soul and that connection to the unseen world. Our home base, we now have a new calendar. You can go to wedon'tdieradio.com, click on calendar, and you can see the courses, the demonstrations. Next Friday, we're back at this again. So if you click on Friday the 10th, you can get the link to join us, to register. Of course, this weekend, we've got the beautiful Soul Quest followed by our Sunday gathering. Those are both free. But with that, thank you very much. I want to turn it over to Scott and Darren just for some closing words. And for me, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for your generosity and for your generosity of time and being here with us.
Hi guys, thank you. Sorry, I just unmuted myself just to thank you, Sandra, and thank everyone who's attended tonight, and how our thoughts assemble as one, especially in these difficult times that we are facing, and healing is being given to areas of the world through this virus that we are seeing, and hopefully that we can put this virus to bed shortly. Will the virus continue? I think it will, in the sense that it's changed our lives forever. So thank you for allowing me to share this aspect of communication with you in the order of philosophy. So take care, guys, and thank you for supporting We Don't Die and supporting me in your friendship. Take care.
Thank you, Scott. Over to Mr. Darren.
Hello, everyone. Just want to say a massive thank you for joining us here on this event and any events you've done previously. And thank you to those of you that have asked your questions. And I hope some of you, if not all of you, got something from those questions, but also got more of an understanding of the unseen world. We all go through grief during our lives, various different stages, and there's no one that can tell you how to deal with grief. Nobody can give you a wave of magic wand and it'll all be done and dusted. Because if we did, trust me, I'll be waving that wand all over the place. There is no solution to it and there is no answer to it. But the one thing I've got from this session and all the other sessions we've done is, regardless how your loved ones passed, they are always met in the same way with, they're greeted by family members in the unseen world, and they're greeted and surrounded by love. And there's one thing that we're always told: love is eternal as well as life is eternal. So, your loved ones are as close to you now as they were when they was on this earth. You may not hear them, you may not feel them, but trust me, they're there with you all the time. So just take comfort in knowing that life and love are eternal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Darren. And just from me, grief is incredibly awful, worst thing we're ever going to feel. But your loved ones are still around, and I believe they're trying to get in touch with you as much as you're trying to get in touch with them. Have a quiet mind, build a practice of saying hello, asking them to come close, and set maybe a time every week that you do this, or more than once a week. And you will be surprised, but keep that relationship alive. But your life is here to live. They want that for you. Don't die inside. Your life is to be lived. They are your biggest cheerleaders. Eventually, you're going to close your eyes and cross that finish line from this life, and they will all be there to greet you and support you and cheer you on, and you'll be together. So with that, much love. We hope we see you again. Thank you for being here. Bye, everybody.